Did you ever have a video prompt another video? That is exactly what I have had here. Now, I was watching a video the other day. It was about SouthTube. The video was done by a guy by the name of Feckwick, who I haven't talked to all that much, but I have talked to on YouTube before. And I'm kind of interested now in this SouthTube thing because I live in the South. So he put down, he was talking about Canada, and I think he put down that there were 10 provinces and 3 territories up in Canada. The Yukon, the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut were the 3 territories, and then you have Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia as the provinces. So I mentioned in my reply that the United States has 46 states and 4 commonwealths, because a lot of people just refer to it as 50 states. But the people that lived in the commonwealths before, and I used to, always would say there's 46 states and there's 4 commonwealths, 1 district, which would be the District of Columbia. So he sends me back a message and he goes, well, that's kind of interesting. What is the difference between a commonwealth and a state? So I had to go look it up. And that's what I'm doing this video about, because I'm sure a lot of people are curious what the difference between a commonwealth and a state is. Okay. First of all, there are 4 commonwealths. Do you know what they are? I do. One is Massachesetts. One is Virginia. One is Kentucky. And the other is Pennsylvania. And the one I used to live in was Pennsylvania. Now here's the explanation. It says here there are actually 50 states in the U.S., but 4 of them, and they mention it says 4, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Virginia, Massachusetts, officially call themselves commonwealths. In other words, the United States calls them states, but those states call themselves commonwealths. Like if you have a driver's license from Pennsylvania, the driver's license will say Commonwealth of Pennsylvania on it. I now have a driver's license here in North Carolina. It says State of North Carolina. So there is a little bit of difference there. And it says the difference between a commonwealth and a state is, well, nothing. Constitutionally speaking, they are identical. But understanding why these states chose the Commonwealth moniker and continue to stick to it so proudly is a lot easier once you consider the history of those states. The original meaning of the word Commonwealth, which was a nation or body governed by the people, not some king or tyrant. In fact, at the time of British history, when Cromwell and Parliament ruled instead of a king, known as the Commonwealth period, so it came to American colonies, throwing off the yokes of oppression and tea taxes, the excessive use of the letter U, like in the word color. 3 hotbeds of revolution, and those were Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Virginia, were most eager to signal the difference in government. Perhaps remembering the Commonwealth period, they declared themselves commonwealths. So what about Kentucky? Kentucky had once been merely a giant western country, a giant western county of Virginia. Before that, it was called Transylvania. I always thought Transylvania was over in Europe. When it started to do its own thing in 1790, Kentucky kept the Commonwealth status, not to mention the whiskey. But surprisingly enough, those 4 states aren't the only ones in our happy American family that are Commonwealths. Puerto Rico and the Northern Mariana Islands also go by the moniker. In this context, it means that they have certain rights under the U.S. Constitution and fall under our protection. But they don't qualify for the full benefits of statehood, meaning they don't get any senators, and they also don't get to eat deep-fried Twinkies. They don't get to eat deep-fried Twinkies because they don't have state fairs. That's hilarious. Kentucky, on the other hand, has a state fair every August, apparently unperturbed by the fact that it is not technically a state. State of dissatisfaction. After the Commonwealth of Virginia seceded from the Union in 1861, several northwestern Virginia counties went ahead and seceded from the seceders, choosing instead to stay in the Union. Those countries formed the state of West Virginia, feeling no compunction to keep the Commonwealth label. So there you have it, the difference between a Commonwealth and a state. And remember, Commonwealths do not get to eat deep-fried Twinkies because they don't get to have state fairs. They're Commonwealths. I don't believe that's written there. That is hilarious. Well, anyhow, thank you for allowing me to bore you, and have a great day. Bye.